I'll admit I kind of dreaded logging back in to upload this, but I've been working on rectifying the assery I've demonstrated up to this point, and part of that was talking to Lakamoka Laka again yesterday. I'll play what was said to me after I finished saying what I want to say, but Laka told me that the FZK victims felt hurt by what I've had to say and what I've done up to this point, and their request of me is to step away, at the very least for a long time, and go and get therapy. And so I figured I would allow this to be explained because I don't know when or even if I'm coming back, and it's not really fair to those who will want to know why. But I've done too much damage already, and I'm sorry. Again, I'll let the call do the rest of the explaining for me, but I would like to disclaim first that I was rather shaken up prior to that point. As you'll hear, I won't deny I've been melting down a lot about this situation since it started, and as any of my friends could tell you, I've been rather stressed about everything since it started with Mad Libs, so you'll hear me break at a few points in the call. Um, this is just kind of a warning to those who might feel uncomfortable about it. You have been warned. Anyway, here's the Laka call, and this is goodbye. Hey,
Hello, Miss Doodles. We're here to discuss the consensus of what the victims want from this. Is that acceptable?
oh, that's perfectly acceptable. That was actually going to be something I was going to ask.
Yeah, that's why this call took a little bit. I was getting the consensus from some of the victims that what they want going forward from this because I'm trying to get an understanding what they all want out of this. And so
Mm-hmm.
I got the consensus. One of the consensus is therapy is what they want happen because they do think that you could like they don't this is not for a derogatory way. This is just it's for your own benefit. They do agree therapy is probably the best option here. Another thing is I've asked all quite a bit of their thoughts on this. Um the main consensus is you probably should leave your platform for a hiatus for a time being while you go to therapy and work on yourself. That is the main consensus is like a hiatus at bare minimum to go work upon the therapy and any issues. That is the main consensus. There are some victims that do want you to leave, but the main general ones from some the others is a hiatus. That is what I've gathered from asking all of them their thoughts on the matter, and I do think the agreeable approach would just be a hiatus and you get therapy to work upon any issues. It, that way, you can come back at a later point, in a better mental state, knowing, better and any issues you may have not been aware of, um, have been sufficiently sorted through, you got the proper treatment for, and all of that. That's the main consensus that they are more so in agreement on. There are some that are more like because of some of the things they don't want you coming back to your platform, but
That's
the
understandable.
general yeah, some of
No,
them are in agreement for the long hiatus, but we are all in agreement that therapy is probably the best option to help you improve from any issues because we don't want you harmed in any way. We don't wish ill will upon you. We want to make that very clear. But the general consensus is you should get therapy and go take a hiatus for some time. And hiatus doesn't mean a couple months. It means a while
I know.
until these issues are sorted out. I'm just trying to make that clear. But I'm just being upfront with you what I've talked to a lot of them about because they are upset. They've been looking into this outside of myself, and they do they do feel some things about the situation. there are some that are very angry, and I'm just here to express some of their concerns, some of their pain. And the consensus, though, is the long hiatus with the therapy. Since you asked, like, what did the victims want out of this? That is the general consensus.
Mhm.
There are some that do want you to stay off your platform, but
Yeah.
they are not the majority, and I'm just letting that known. But um, did you need to ask me anything in the meantime? And just because since this is probably going to be the last conversation we'll probably have, because if you are going to go with those terms, I do know that's you're not going to be online for a little while. So is there anything you need to say?
Uh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm just
Um,
I I I had like a whole thing written out to kind of help me get through this, but no, that all those are fair. I was actually planning on leaving my platform anyway at this point because I don't think I can handle it.
if you feel that is the best for your mental well-being, um, I understand your endeavor and I'll support you if that's the case because I don't want anyone harmed in all of this. I want everyone to be okay. But if that could help interfere with your therapy and your recovery to improve any issues, then I will understand that decision. I'm just here to communicate what's going on,
No, I
and
know.
I do apologize.
And
Yeah, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm just here to relay the issues. And sorry for
and
the. Is there anything else?
I was just going to say because I feel like you also deserve an apology. I'm uh I'm sorry for what I had said in that initial call. I'm sorry that I kind of just played it off as if nothing happened. I'm sorry that I was dishonest and that, if you felt like I had lied to you, then I'm sorry that I lied to you. Um, I'm sorry. I want to apologize to those victims. I, I didn't.
Take a moment to breathe. Take a moment to breathe. All right. I don't want you don't just breathe. It's all right. Just breathe. Just sort out your thoughts a bit. So because I am gonna relay what's being said, and I do want you to be able to get out what you need to say. So just take a minute to breathe. Grab some water if you need to. It's all right. I don't have a gun to your head. It's all good.
No, but I just hate.
Just breathe.
I just hate how I've been fucking everything up left and right.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to use any of the victims for, like, a shield or as a defense. And I thought, trying to put the conversation back on, like, ZZ and Toasty would help. But I see that I, it didn't.
Yeah, well, that's because the server as a whole needed to be discussed, and there were a lot of people that were aware of this by the time they left, during in it, and that caused harm too, because that was
Yeah,
enabling the harm. And they
I,
needed someone to say something. And that's why a lot of them do feel hurt,
I know.
because upon finding out, it
I
that's why
see
I'm
that
just
now.
relaying. Right.
Yeah.
All right. Just take a moment to breathe a little, okay? All right. But yeah, that's what they're trying to express because yes, Miss Zizi and Toasty are vile people, and yes, we are going to talk about them, but a lot of people saw them being vile and even joined it and didn't do anything to stop it. People saw it and let it happen. And when people did try to talk about this, no one came to help them. They were silenced, they were harassed, and some of them chased offline and hurt very badly. And that's why I'm here, because that they have trauma from this and they're hurt really badly.
Mhm.
That's why I'm here to say, like, hey, like, we're relaying the consensus for what they want to do for each of the people in the server. And this was the one towards you, because some are upset that by the time you left, you were aware of the culture that Toasty was doing in that server to kids. You
I
and
didn't
you
know. I didn't know it was two kids though.
well,
All I knew,
that's
as as I tried to clear up in my statement, I didn't know the age of like Mimi or Teddy. I did know the age of Slimmers. I do know that you had been particularly frustrated by that, but when I was in there, I was told that Slimmers was not.
but that's still a thing, because by the time you left, you told me that you became aware. And
I
that's the problem.
I know what I said in
Is
that call, but I panicked.
unfortunately that can't be retracted.
I
That
know.
the damage is done.
I know. And I don't intend to try to undo that damage.
Like, well, I understand you're upset, and that's why I'm trying to keep level with you. But the fact that there has been a lot of harm to these kids, and you told me nothing was done because you didn't have any experience,
I know.
is hurting a lot of them, because you had contact with people that could, and that has hurt quite a bit of them, because you talked to Ponder, you talked to quite a few people who do, and none of them were reached out to. And when these victims were getting attacked, because some of them did come out publicly saying they were groomed, no one came to save them. People in this community knew. Multiple people were told, from what I heard from the victims. Like, even the ones outside of the FCK, there's some people that were told about this. And no one helped them. And that's why, like, I'm here to express, like, that's why they're upset. Because they didn't make their silence, like, their suffering wasn't silent, it was loud. And everyone looked away or joined in the silencing, and like, there's pain there. And that's why I'm here, because I know a lot of them, if they were in here, wouldn't be able to handle that pain, and they would lash out. And I'm trying to keep this level so you can understand that hurt they feel, because this did hurt them, Doodle. This hurt a lot of them. And I'm not here to be a villain to you. I'm here to tell you about that pain. And I'm here to tell you, like, because you're not seeing the devastation that's being done. And that's why I'm here to relay, like, hey, they needed that help. I know you didn't know what to do. You could have reached out. You could have done, like, to Ponder, maybe look up online something. There's options that could have been done that weren't. And these kids got hurt more and more, to the point that a lot of them need serious help now. This has affected their mental development, Doodles. They're gonna have some serious issues for the rest of their life because of some of the damage done. That's why I'm so upset. Because I see the damage. That's why they can't come in the call, because if they were to be put in this call, they're gonna be a mess. And that's at best case. And that's why I'm trying to relate to you, like, the harm that was done here. The fact that a lot of the community knew. Nothing was done. No one said anything. And the ones that knew of, like, the grooming extent, you know, like, Junkie knew about the grooming, and nothing was done. That has devastated so many. And I'm not here to, like, off with your heads. I'm here to be the messenger of what they feel, because a lot of them can't express how they feel. and how they feel is utterly devastated. They are in shambles, and that's why I'm saying like there needs to be a like if you feel it's appropriate to leave your platform, we understand, but we do feel like like there people need to go to therapy. They need to take away from the internet for a while so they can actually get the help they need, because because whatever allowed you guys to allow this to occur for so long is a dangerous sign for the future, and they don't want this repeating again. And I am in full agreement of that, because they are scared there are more kids like this, and I'm also of that same fear. And we'd want to make sure that doesn't happen. So, like, this is not us saying, like, you're the devil. We're trying to make sure this doesn't happen again, so everyone can be in a better position and feel safe. And we feel like this is the safe and best option that can help everyone involved. Is that agreeable for you, Doodle?
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else that needs to be stated?
No.
Okay. Well, I wish you well on your endeavors, and try to have a better day.
Alright.